Happy day, you fine folks, and welcome to Tabletop Shop. Today we're doing a speed review of Dice Manor, a new game in the Dice Tower Essentials line. You have shelf decorations to buy, so let's skip the niceties and get to the overview. Dice Manor is a dice placement auction game where you play as home designers trying to create the most impressive home possible and then market that home. The game is played over 4 standard rounds with a 5th modified round. A round consists of players taking turns in order until all players have placed all of their dice. Then there is an evaluation of bids, rewards are collected, and a reset is performed to prepare the next round. On your turn, you will roll all of your unplaced dice, group your dice by number, then choose a number you rolled this turn and place all dice with that number. There are 3 things you can do with the dice you place, and you can split dice on a given turn between multiple placements. Firstly, you can add dice to one of the 6 room auctions, with placement restricted to the value of your dice. At the end of the round, the player with the most dice at each location receives that room tile. Room tiles have to be placed with common sense restrictions. For example, a doorway can't go into a wall. Secondly, you can add dice to the advertising auction. Dice here can be any value, but you can only be placing 1 value here per round. At the end of the round, the player with the most dice, with ties being broken by value, gets to advance on the advertising track, which grants victory points and eventually additional dice. Players who don't win this auction will still get compensated to a lesser degree. Finally, you can place dice on available rooms in your manor, but they have to be placed in a connected pattern on rooms that allow that dice value. Thematically, this is you giving an early tour of your manor. When all players have no more dice to place, the round ends. After 4 of these rounds, you perform a 5th and final round where players can only place dice to give tours of their manors. For final scoring, players compare their manors and earn competitive points for having the most rooms of each color, the most rooms in general, and individual points based on how many of the 6 different room types you added to your manor. Also, there are these inspiration tokens you can earn during the game that let you modify dice, and they count for points at the end of the game. Let's start with the good. This is a surprisingly fun game. Dice-centric games can be hit or miss, and it all depends on how much ingenuity goes into the function of the dice. In Dice Manor, there is a variety of ways you can use your dice, which mitigates the luck factor that dice games are prone to. The game comes down to deciding on each turn how best to use the dice you rolled and considering when to push your luck or use inspiration tokens if you're looking for a specific roll. There's also a lot to think about over the course of a game. Are you diversifying your manor enough? Are you committing enough dice to the advertising board? Are you saving dice for giving tours? This is a game that demands balance and careful use of your resources, but it can still reward a player who min-maxes and cuts their losses. Dice Manor also has a good 2-player variant. It's a pretty basic roll a die for the AI each turn, then assign that die to a room auction or to the advertising board if you roll the advertising number for the round. While this functions as an unpredictable dumb AI, it's not burdensome to run, and it complicates the game in the same way that a 3rd player would. The component quality of the game is very good. You have a thick cardboard main board, a double-layered score tracker which fits snugly into the main board, sturdy room tiles, and overall great pieces and dice. The only thing is it would have been nice if the player aids were cardboard instead of cards, but that's getting nitpicky. I'll also say that the artwork on room tiles is pretty clever and the overall appearance and color palette of the game is pleasant. And now for the bad. There's actually not much to say here though. The main thing is that after a couple of plays, the game didn't seem like it had much of a new experience to offer. It's a quick playing game that gives you a good puzzle to solve, but I'm thinking that that puzzle might get a little dull after too many plays, which brings the game's longevity into question. An expansion could fix that, but we'll just have to see if one gets released. Overall, though I wasn't sure what to expect, I had a surprisingly fun time playing Dice Manor. It was like being introduced to boba tea for the first time. You're not really sure what's going on at first, but it turns out that there's a lot of sugar in there and it has pretty colors. I will give this game a 7.5 out of 10, which is halfway between it's good and it's very good on the Tabletop Shop scale. That's the review. But wait! If you found this video helpful, please consider that like button and maybe even subscribe if you'd like to see more of these. Thanks for stopping by the shop.